No neck.
Hello.
No, not no neck. It looks like I've got no t-shirt on.
Mate, we've started, by the way.
Wow.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. That is an introduction for you. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. We're back here. I might have done you dirty there, Brownie. Normally I do a bit of an intro, don't I? I just said to you then, Alfair, I was like, we're just going straight into it. And here we are. I know you've got a food order, mate, coming in 25 minutes. So
To be fair, mate, you know me, I couldn't give two hoots.
Oh, mate, you got some miles on your belt, haven't you? You've notched some English miles on that proverbial massive belt of yours. How you feeling, mate? Let's not get into the game right now. But Portsmouth away, QPR away. Been some big journeys for you, mate. How are you feeling overall, fatigue-wise? Are you feeling a bit Brendan Aronsy, Dan Jamesy in terms of fatigue?
I said it on, well, I can't remember what day it was. That's how tired I am. I don't know what day it was the other day. Friday, was it? Yeah, Friday night we did it, didn't we? There's just football isn't for fans anymore, is it? It's just an entertainment for TV. I mean, like, I've got no sympathy for them, but Man United playing Leicester tonight at what is it? 7:30 on a Sunday? 7 o'clock on a Sunday. What is all that about?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a nonsense. Yeah, so, I mean, going for buses at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mental, mate. You're a madman. What? You're a madman.
But it's not only that, like, 2 weeks on the trot. Like,
was it a 3 p.m. again on a was it a 3 p.m. 3 a.m. again on a it'd be nice if it was 3 p.m., wouldn't it? Was it 3 a.m. on QPR away day as well?
No, people got a lie in. It was 5.
Class.
I mean,
you look at what you complaining about.
No, but I saw a tweet yesterday that said Leeds have been moved to 12:30. It wasn't even the main game on Sky. It was Millwall Stoke. What on earth is it getting moved for?
I know, mate.
The only games I can understand getting moved to early kickoffs are like today, Wednesday, Sheffield United, policing. I understand that. A Leeds Man United or an Everton Liverpool or a Newcastle Sunderland. Totally understand that. QPR versus Leeds. No one's asked. Nobody's bothered. I think I've seen as well that we've had 14 half-12 kickoffs. It's just farcical, to be honest.
Weird weekend, isn't it, mate? Weird weekend. You're a point away at QPR. You know, you essentially better what you do last season. But me and you spoke about it. You came out the ground. I've never, ever, ever, ever known you send me a voice note ever that quickly. Like, mate, I was still on stream. I didn't play it. I went like that with the mic. And I listened to it. I've never known you send me a voice note like that. So, look, I know even from yourself, mate. It was pure frustration at the way. Look, mate.
No. I was deadly serious.
I'm not saying it was pure frustration, but I'm saying it was. I'm not saying it stopped, but I'm saying you weren't happy at all. So I'm saying like,
I'm absolutely fine. Like,
you're fine now.
Yeah, I mean, last time I looked, Leeds were still top of the league. Like, I am absolutely fine. We've got 8 games to go, and I'd say our toughest game is Middlesbrough away, who aren't exactly scintillating at the minute.
Yeah,
it's not a case of the season or anything like that. The frustration was, I'm sick of seeing him play in a Leeds shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it on. Weirdly, I highlighted him on Friday night, and the comments were like, "Oh no, Aronson bashing. He is pathetic."
Brownie, can I just say this before you start going on? Because I know you're gonna. There is a weird fraction of this fan base who, I understand it. I understand it with players who like, look, Archie Gray, homegrown player, but the thing with Archie is he proved it. Top player at this level. He's gone on Spurs, won Young Player of the Year. Completely get it. There's a certain part of the fan base with Somerville, with Rutter, that have nothing said about him. Completely get it. With Brendan Aronson, unfortunately, there's a weird part of our fan base who genuinely will go to battle for him, and I don't know why. And that's not me saying. It's not me casting him out to the wolves or anything like that. But as a Leeds United fan, a Leeds United player, in one of our attacking segments has to perform. They simply has to perform because of how much territory we have in the opposition half. This guy doesn't do it. He's got 1 assist. Now he's got two assists after yesterday. He's got 2 assists in 2025, 1 goal, but you will still get a bunch of our fan base, for whatever reason, I've no idea why, talking to me about his energy levels, his endeavour, what he does off the ball. I've been literally Brownie. I'm still going, mate. I'm going.
I just want to.
I've said about Ramazani and Nonto and even Solomon. I'd have you. I'd have Firpo. I'd have Melier in central attacking midfield over this lad at the minute, and still, you will get a mass proportion of our fan base telling us he's the only central attacking midfielder. What I will say, Brownie, and I know you're a backing of the man, and look, I am as well. Of course, he's done a brilliant job this season. He told us the other day on Thursday night, we don't have a specialised number 10. He's telling us after the game then that apparently he was having kittens on the night before the game because he was thinking, should I do Aronson? Should I do Nonto? Should I do Aronson? Should I do Nonto? Then he decided with Aronson for whatever reason.
I'll tell you the reason.
Go on, why did he pick him?
Being is he's had Aronson all season and we've lost 4 out of 38. So, and we won the last game, and that old saying, never change a winning team. And I'm not buying into this nonsense of tiredness, because we were better in the second half, by the way, than the first half.
Yeah,
there was a reason why we were better in the second half. It's because we were playing with 11, not 10. And these people are going to bat for him. I'm watching the game and don't see him. They just see stats that he's ran around a lot, or they've got a white stick.
I guess you could say that with me as well, though, because I'm watching it on a TV as well.
No, everybody goes to games. I'll put it another way. The away end cheered at halftime yesterday when that substitution got named out.
I'd including you. I'd four of my pals at the game yesterday, and you messaged me, which you've never done at full time with the voice note. I had 3 messages at half time from lads who I knew down at the game, and they were all about one person. One lad was absolutely spitting feathers about that first goal. Mate, when that goal, honestly, all season, I've never lost it like that for that first goal. That first goal, my head was on the... I'm really upset that was on a watch-long, to be honest, because I really wish it wasn't. I lost the plot because not only did he lose his first individual battle physically when he got bounced off the ball by a left-back, he then passes it in his own box to one of their better technical footballers who wraps it round into the top corner. It's just... But it's not just Brendan Aronson, but he right now is someone, Brownie, who the manager's picking him, Brownie. The manager's picking him. He's picking him.
I can't ever remember seeing Farke or so at half time. I think he's done with it.
No.
He's done. Right. It's very hard to get signals at games, and I always never try and tweet during a game.
Yeah, I've tried to stop doing that.
Because it can come back and bite you on the arse later on in the game, right? Yeah. But at half time, I'm thinking, he just doesn't link anything.
No,
he's in the 10 to link, and he doesn't link anything. Within, I'd say, 2.5 minutes of not being on the pitch, he slid a ball, which led to the goal. Now, in the first part of the season, I could understand the Aronson part because he was chipping in with goals. But I can get someone in the gym to run around. And that's all people keep telling me now. He presses well. If I was to ask everybody in the comments, or yourself, or anybody who watches football, what is a number 10? What do you want from your number 10? And you'd say goals and assists. That is your number 10. Okay? Since 2025, he's got 1 assist. This is a team top of the league with 75 goals, I think it is.
Yeah.
And out of them 75, correct me if I'm not wrong, he's got 2 assists. Our number 10 has got 2 assists out of 75.
But do you look at the manager then, Brownie? There's someone who's picking him, isn't there?
I don't know how you can look at the manager because he's top of the league.
But he's picking Aronson, isn't he, every week?
He is. But up until the last 6-7 weeks, and in them 6-7 weeks, we beat Sunderland and Sheffield United, by the way, with him in the 10. So I'm not going to go completely one way with it. It's just...
But could you not have had a bad game?
There's nobody else to play in there.
You saw it yesterday. Nonso.
They're 2-0 up. They're sat back. They don't need to chase anything. I'd like to see Nonto from the start.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You can tell, Brownie. You can tell you're a footballer. I know you back Leeds United and you back Farke 100%. But as a footballer by trade, Brownie, which you are, and a coach, he's a better footballer, mate. He's a better footballer in that number 10. He just is. I can't understand now.
In recent games, I'm thinking Sheffield United. I'm thinking Sunderland. Definitely yesterday.
It's West Brom in there as well. West Brom.
I can't remember if he went off in that.
Oh, sorry, you're on about him taking off.
Games where he's gone off. We have got better when he's gone off.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
there's no debate in that. We have got better when he has left the pitch. I completely get that games are different at the end of games. It's more stretched, it's more open. So the likes of Nonto, Mamazani have got more space to run into.
Yeah.
But we have undoubtedly got better with him not in there. Now, if we cast our mind back to January, Farke was wanting players. He was. We had a conversation on a show publicly saying he's highlighted areas he wants here, and he's not really getting them. Now, for whatever reason, 49ers have, I don't know if gambled. Well, yeah, gambled. I think gambled is the right word to use on not spending, so we've got more money to spend next season. And I still don't think it'll bite him in the arse. I still think Leeds will go up. But I honestly, I can't see Aronson starting the next game against Swansea. I just can't see it. If you're not getting called, and this is not being derogatory to the other people at the other side of the pond, if you're not getting called up for USA, you're in trouble. You may as well pack it in.
But you know, if you're seeing Willie Nonso come in for 45 minutes and do more than he's done in 2025, how can we not say that we've got a solution in the number 10? Or at least a kind of solution that's better than Brendan Aronson. At least give it a go.
I think Perot's done a good job when he's dropped back into the 10.
So that's another one. That's another one that he's not been going with. He's been going with Brendan Aronson.
Now, there's a reason why he's come out and said he was wrestling with, do I play Aronson, do I not? So he's clearly not been happy with him. For Farke to do a sub after 45 minutes, I think he's done with it, to be honest. You know me, I backed Farke undoubtedly through all this. I think in the last 2 years, he's had to, the previous summer was an absolute, it was Claws FC, just players who were coming up to training, there's players going left, right and centre. Then he had Nonto spitting his dummy out, not wanting to play. This summer, Somerville, Rutter, Kamara, Gray, he's had to deal with a lot. Now, if he then goes and picks Aronson for the next game, I'm questioning him on what he's actually seeing, because it were crystal clear to anybody with half a brain cell yesterday that it was so much better second half. It was like night and day. And like I say, I go back to it saying he's a link player. Your number 10 is to create things and link things. I'd have loved to have seen his pass completion yesterday in that first half. In fact, I'll rephrase that. Pass completion going forwards.
Brownie, I thought James looked knackered as well. I thought it was a mistake. Not changing up those two at least. I mean, at least earlier. I think they both looked knackered. James was putting balls out of play. He was struggling to beat his man. He was the shadow of who he's been sort of the last month, really, in my opinion. I think they're just knackered. And 3 games in 6 days. I think he's got Brownie. This, and I hate to say it. And look, I know you're going to come back to me, and this is why I love having you on, and why you're one of my mates, and I love having chats with you about it, mate. And you know, it's never disrespectful from me, and I know it's not from you to me, but this is my underlying worry. It's completely different context in terms of the fixtures we've got. Last season, we had a better goal difference, we were top of the table, and we were a point ahead. The problem with me last season, me and you used to come on, and my massive problem with Daniel Farke last season was his adaptation and his rotation. He's got to start learning. And I know we're top of the league, but we're top of the league last season at this point. I need to start seeing a little bit more adaptation, rotation, mate, in these final 8 games. Surely, mate. Surely.
I hear both sides. I find it completely relevant that it's 3 games in 6 days, and we always say we've got the best squad in the championship, but we're not really using it. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I find it so hard to criticise a guy who's got to 50 wins, the quickest in championship history. He knows what he's doing. Otherwise, he doesn't have 2 promotions on his CV, a playoff final, and a team that's been top of the league for God knows how long.
Okay. So let me in isolation then. Say me and you haven't been mates for ages, and I'm an isolated person coming in and playing devil's advocate, and I watch this show. If I'm an isolated person, I watch this show. I turn around and I say, well, hold on a minute. Dave Brown was coming on, won Leeds last season, and telling Conor the exact same thing at this period. He's a specialist at this point. He gets stronger towards the end of the season, and we're top of the table, a point clear with better goal difference. What would you say back to that?
Well, I think it's completely different last season because we'd won like 10 on the spin.
Yeah.
It's coming into the international break last season, we were steamrolling teams. It was when we came back after the international break that we just fell off a cliff. I've seen something today about this time last year that we were top. I'm not having that we were. I think Leicester had a game in hand. I don't think at any point we were above points wise.
Yeah, they were. I think they had a game in hand. Yeah, they did. They get Leicester had a game in hand. Leicester had a game in hand, but we were both top with 82. We had a better goal difference by 1. But is Brownie? Is that not the same right now? I know we've got miles better goal difference than Chef U, but points wise, it's we're both on 80 points, us and Chef U, aren't we? After today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure everybody's watching Sheffield United wondering how on earth are they on 80 points. Yeah. They just always, again, I don't want to be derogatory to Sheffield United. They're really gritty and know how to grind out wins without having too much quality. They get the job done.
You know it's coming, don't you? It's inevitable.
Yeah. Which is why when they go to the Premier League, they're cannon fodder every week because they've got no quality. They can't rely on grit. They can't rely on heart and determination to get the job. Like today, this afternoon, they've won 1-0, and how Sheffield Wednesday have come off that pitch without a point, I don't know.
No, I agree.
And it's the same. They played Derby recently and Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And you've seen the chances the other teams are missing. But they're finding a way to dig out 3 points. And they're still behind us.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Still behind us. We said on Friday the next game week was really crucial. They've both got tough games, Coventry and Bristol City, and we're at home to Swansea. I think the breaks come at a good time for Leeds.
I agree.
If I'm being totally honest, I completely concur with what you're saying. Some players look leggy. I thought Dan James was off it against Millwall midweek as well at home. He looked absolutely well. He was not many times you see Dan James played over the top and him not bursting away from someone.
I thought it was pretty easy for their left back. I think it was Kenneth Powell. I thought for the first time this season, Dan James, when he's been brilliant, I just think he struggled. I think he's struggling at the minute. That's where I know you maybe think a little bit differently, but I know you go and say, well, we're top of the table. But I do think to myself, if you bring on someone a little bit earlier, it gives Dan James a little bit more time to recover for the next game. I know we've got the international break, but at least even more recovery. And he's not giving us anything right now. Why not at least play some other players into fitness, match fitness as well, and see what they can do? There's going to be elevated quality. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I just remember me and you having these chats last season, and it was all about rotation. And he's got to start doing it this season for me at this point. Brownie, I don't want this. It's not me. I still think we're going to go up. Genuine belief, but I don't want this. It's so tight now. It's so tight. I don't want this to all be for nothing. Again.
Listen, we've won one. We've won 1 game in the last 4.
Yeah.
Right. And we're still top. So we've done something right to get into a position where we can win 1 in 4 and still find ourselves top of the league. It's got to be a reset over the international break and go again at home to Swansea. It's a nice... I don't want to tempt fate here. And it's a nice game to come back after the international break to at home. Any game at home is a nice game. Us at Ellen Road, completely different kettle of fish to away from home. Shock of horrors, QPR was sold out yesterday, rather than when other teams go there and there's seats everywhere. But it's something we've got to overcome and got to deal with. Yeah, nice time, I think, the international break, definitely. Because I do agree, players have looked... I don't want to contradict myself because we're saying players have looked shattered, but Millwall, we were better second half.
Yep.
QPR, we were better second half. So if we were shattered so much, how are we getting better as the game goes on?
Probably subs, innit?
But we're saying we aren't making them till the 85th minute. So Millwall, we didn't make any sub until the 85th minute. How are we getting better as the game goes on if we're so tired?
Do you think it's just momentum or sort of camping in their half and then just allowing themselves to drop back a little bit at points, then being fine, Leeds having the ball if, let's say, you know, the momentum's on the other side and it has been on the other side, they're fine with Leeds having that.
Yeah, and which is why yesterday QPR had something to hang on to. So second half again, maybe we're camped in their half. Having said all that, I think the sub with Solomon killed all momentum.
Yeah, I do.
I thought we were absolutely rampant, and we made that sub, and it just seemed to fizzle out the last 10 minutes. I can't really remember anything too creative after that Solomon sub.
No.
I may be wrong. It seems a bit of a blur, but from the 83rd minute on when Solomon went off, I don't really remember it just seemed to be stop-start. I mean, he added 6 on. The red card took 4 minutes and we blew up on 96. So we didn't really get any injury time at all.
I mean, we've got to sort it out in normal time, haven't we? But it really hurt me that in midweek, both promotion teams in comparison to us had plus 23 minutes added on. They get a red card in extra time. QPR have 2 players go down for at least 10 seconds each. And then he blows up at 96. It's just so frustrating. I mean, Eric says, just remember you two said we'd go up, no problem.
I think we will.
Eric, I think we'll go up. I think we'll go up. And Eric, Eric, I don't know what's your point there, mate? I don't understand what the narrative is there. Yeah, we're Leeds fans. We're confident in our side. We've got the highest wage structure. We've got a manager who's accumulated the most points in championship history. We've got one of the championship, their best squads. Why, as a Leeds fan, would you not say that we'd go up? Why would you not be confident with that? If you're not going to be confident, mate, at any time as a Leeds fan, there's no point in supporting football. At some point, you got to stick your chest out. And for me personally, I know Brownie's a very, very optimistic fan, and he goes home and away, and he's allowed to do that. And he's a Leeds fan. He's subjective, of course. It's subjective. He can say whatever he wants, but we've got confidence in the team, mate. I still think we will. And I bet Eric. And Eric, what I will say is you go to Sheffield United fans, and they might say it's a little bit wobbly at the minute, but they'll look at our remaining fixtures, and you'll go to Burnley fans, and I've spoken to Burnley fans. I've got friends who are Burnley fans. They'll all still say the same things, Eric. So,
I mean, I think
my opinion, but I do. Yeah, I think there's a grey area. There's a grey area. Look, I think it's not black or white, Brown. I don't think it's us getting promoted and us blowing up. I think there's a grey area right now where I think the manager needs to adapt quicker. I know you're maybe a little bit more like he's doing things right. I think the manager needs to adapt at this period a little bit quicker. But yeah. I
mean, it was only a few weeks ago that we were saying Sheffield United had gone. They lost at home to Hull 3-0. Odd results happen. And we're talking about Leeds. We've only lost 1 game in the last 19.
20.
1 game in the last 20 games. We've lost 1. like all this doom and gloom.
Does it concern you a little bit? Does it concern you a little bit? Because what I will say is, and here's one for you, for 18-19 season, where we were doing bits and bats, I was a little bit like, ugh. And being my pal, I've always been a little bit like this. I've been cautiously optimistic. I've been, some would deem negative. Last season,
Burnley with Real Madrid 1 year.
Yeah, hey mate, do you remember when Cage used to call me out for Josh Brownhill? Look at Brownhill now, mate. Look at Brownhill now.
Zidane at one point, in your head.
Championship Zidane. But yeah, I've always been very cautiously optimistic, mate. This season, I've pushed my chest out a little bit. I've done it a lot, to be honest with you. But if someone was to say to you, look, Brownie, you said this last season. You said keep calm. You don't understand what fans are upset about. And last season happened. What's now convinced you a little bit more in comparison to last season that this season is going to be a little bit less arduous?
Because Sheffield United and Burnley are not Leicester. They don't have the quality of Leicester. They don't have the quality that Ipswich had. They were blowing teams away. I've watched Sheffield United so many times and it's been backs against the wall, 1-0. Like, yeah, great. It's got them to March. That's where I'm at. Leicester and Ipswich. I mean, Southampton beat us 3 times. We're talking about Premier League club. They had Premier League quality.
But right now, Leicester got 80 points last season. Technically, with their accrued points trophy, which they always keep going on about, Sheffield United fans, they're on 82 points.
Yeah, Sheffield United have got more points than us this season. Fact. Because they're finding a way to get through games.
Does that not worry you?
Does it worry me? No, not really.
Okay. And that's because you're very confident about Leeds, obviously.
I don't see us dropping any more points at home, which gets us to 90s. I genuinely don't see us dropping any more points at home. We've got what? Swansea, Stoke. Got 4 more, haven't we? Swansea, Stoke. It's gone. Mine's gone blank. But I genuinely see us winning our last 4 home games, which gets us to what we're on now. It gets us to 92.
Yeah. Super Sharp Blade says, so what you want? We've won 2 more games in Leeds, yeah, and we've lost less.
And that's we've beaten Sheffield United twice.
We've beaten you twice. We've beaten you twice, and we've lost less, mate. So it kind of works in roundabouts, really. Yeah. No.
Listen, I've said all along, all season, Leeds and Sheffield United will go up automatic, and I stand by it.
They're not looking bad in third though at the minute, are they? They're not looking bad. they're scoring. They're scoring now, Brownie, which is slightly annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll draw some more games then.
Yeah, I agree.
And they've still got to play each other, and they both can't win.
Of course. Telly says the poor thing is that we won 5. The poor thing is that we won 5 straight tough teams and dropped a bucket full of points to shite clubs on the couch. 100%. How about that, Brownie? Portsmouth, QPR, nothing to play for, and then we've got Luton, potentially Plymouth.
They've always got something to play for when they play Leeds. You see that it's always the club's highest attendance of the season.
Yeah,
not having that, nothing to play for when it's against Leeds. There's always something to play for. Honestly, I can't see us not going up.
Yeah,
it'd be a different story if we entered the playoffs, because then
yeah, we know what happens.
We never do out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Sheffield United have got more points than us this season. But the fact,
are you thinking I'm being too negative here?
Not negative. Not negative. I think there's a genuine question to be had that are we using the squad well enough?
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, people will back that back with, we're top of the league and lost 4 games.
Yeah.
We've just gone on the longest unbeaten run since 1992.
Yeah, that is true. It's our biggest run since 92, isn't it? Yeah. I
think a lot of this is Leeds United fans with PTSD from previous years.
Yeah.
And I completely understand it.
So where's yours? Where's yours then? Where's your PTSD? Where's it gone?
I think I'm too tired to have any PTSD, to be honest.
All that travelling.
I do, and that's fair. That with previous seasons, we've never made anything easy. It was going too easily, wasn't it? We were 5 clear. It was going too easy, but we've created that gap to allow us a little bit of a blip, and we're still top. So things can't have been that bad if we've created a gap that big that we can win 1 in 4 and still find ourselves top of the league.
Well, these are the remaining fixtures. Leeds, Swansea. This one is interesting now, isn't it, Brownie? Leeds, Luton. This becomes very interesting because now they've got something to play for because they've decided to up the performances a little bit. Can I just say, Brownie, with this, and before we get onto these fixtures, I've said this on a stream, and I want to say this again as well. What I want, not only the fan base, but the Leeds United team to maybe, and I'm sure they do grasp this and understand it. Have we not got something to play for? We keep getting told that Luton and Borough and Plymouth have all got something to play for. Have we not? Have we not? Are we just not this team? Are we just going to lie down and let these teams who've got apparently something more to play for than what Leeds have got to play for, even though we've got this prize of the Premier League, which is more lucrative than the likes of probably, Luton staying in the Championship, albeit, I know things can go on from going to the Championship to League One, of course, but that prize that we've got is massive. The club we are is massive. I can't understand this whole thing. Don't get me wrong, if we're bloody 11th in the division and going for the playoffs and it's maybe a little bit out of sight and then you're getting teams trying to stay up and they're really going for it, then I understand it. But have we not got anything to play for? Are we just... What's going on here?
Look, there's going to be, I think Chris Wilder said it, there's going to be twists and turns all the way. We're going to have a few, like last weekend, we were the only team not to win in the top 6. Midweek, we were the only team to win the top 6. I stand by it. Leeds and Sheffield United will be top 2. I mean, have you seen Burnley's fixtures coming up, by the way?
Tough, very tough.
I think they've
very tough.
They come back after the international break and have Bristol, who are 5th.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry, I'm not getting rid of you here. Sorry, Matt.
They then go to Coventry.
Yeah.
They've got Norwich. They've got Norwich.
Should we go in order? Let's have a look in order then. So, what are you seeing from these then?
For us?
Yeah. Honestly.
3 points against Swansea.
Yep.
3 points against Preston. 3 points against Stoke. Like I said, I see us winning all our home games. I mean, if we don't go to Oxford and win, we may as well pack up and not even bother next year.
Well, if you're saying
there's 15 points straight away.
If you're saying Bristol's going to be a tough game for Burnley on the route back, do you think it's going to be a tough one for us on the 26th or not?
It could be done by the time we play Bristol.
In terms of them and us.
Yeah, I mean they'll have played Sheffield United when we play Stoke. By Bristol, it could be done anyway.
Where are those games do you think it's going to be a bit tricky for Leeds?
Middlesbrough away.
Okay.
You know what they're like all the time.
It's cup final time there, isn't it?
And maybe Luton away. I don't see any problems anywhere else.
Are the 12-30s becoming a bit of a problem?
Yeah, massive problem. We've won 2 out of 14 of them. But yeah, as for fixtures,
having a look at Burnley's here, and these are Burnley's coming up.
Awful. They've got 3 teams chasing the playoffs. Bristol in the next 4 games. They've got a team fighting for their lives who've won 3 on the spin, and they've got Sheffield United. If they overtake us, fair play to them. Yeah. Absolutely fair play to them. If they have that set of fixtures and get more points than us, we don't deserve to be in the Premier League. This is why I'm probably more calm, because I'm not just knee-jerk reaction after a 2-2 draw at QPR and a 1-0 defeat. So only 2 weeks ago we beat Sunderland and Sheffield United back to back. We're not a bad team. We're not a bad team. And looking at that set of fixtures for Burnley, if I was Leeds or Sheffield United fan, I'd be more than happy.
Well, that if they take over us, Brownie, I think we should pack up and go home. What do you reckon?
If they take over us, then we've completely thrown it away.
Yeah.
Well, I've just given you 5 wins. It gets us to 95.
Think 95 gets you up, though? I don't know now.
Probably won't win the title, but it'll get you up.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I think
that means to get to 95...
I think that, I don't know about you, for Sheffield and the style of team they are, I think that... Here's one for you. Who wins the league?
I still think Leeds do.
Do you? Yeah?
Yeah, I think we've had our blip. You're not telling me Sheffield United win the next 8 games?
No, I don't think they will.
And again, if they do, fair play to them. I do. I think Leeds win the league. I think Sheffield United come up with us.
Not going to be much in it, though, is there?
No. I think the league title could go down to the final day.
Yeah, I do.
But promotion could be done before that. I just think Leeds and Sheffield United have got the nicer set of fixtures between now and the end of the season. For Burnley to get to 95, they've got to win 6 out of 8. They've got to get 17 points, so 18 is 6 wins in it. And if you flick theirs back on,
and also with 2 games to go as well, if Burnley do beat, let's say Burnley beat Blades, and Blades have got to bounce back, and they've got to bounce back against Stoke City away. Depending on where Stoke are in the division, if they're still fighting out at the bottom. I mean, you can do all these mental gymnastics for everyone, but you kind of are looking at that game. That game's the big one, though, isn't it? That game's massive because both teams can't win, can they? So that's the big one. And
have you got the Burnley fixtures?
Do you want me to put them up?
Yeah, if you've got the Burnley fixtures, because if we're confident that we win our home games, and I don't know, say win at Oxford, which
I remember. Do you know what? I remember us doing this as far back as when Palace beat us 5-1 in the Prem. Us doing like these mental gymnastics to stay up.
We all do it, don't we? Fans, we won't, none of us fans, Leeds, Sheffield United, Burnley, will sleep until the start of May. But if you look at them fixtures, if they win 6 out of 8 of them, then fair play to them.
What if on the basis that we win 5, obviously?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah. Nobody can question how good we've been at home.
No.
Nobody can question that. We've lost 1 at home. So for us to lose more than 1 out of our last 4 home games, we'd have to see a complete shift. I honestly don't see how they win 6.
What did you put it down? I mean, this is PTSD again, but what did you put it down to? We'll get onto that in just a second again. But what did you put it down to last season? When we came back and we lost 4, drew 2, and won 2. What do you think that was? What happened there, do you reckon?
Well, we just didn't see anything of summer. We weren't a team last year. We were Somerville FC. And we didn't really see much from Somerville from February onwards. I think we've got more threat in more places this season. But yeah, you're right. I felt like we'd do it last year. I always felt Ipswich would go away. I mean, Southampton may as well not have bothered. They're on 9 points, for God's sake. What was the point of them putting that much of a fight up? Yeah, we lost Rutter as well. We were very reliant on Rutter and Somerville, weren't we?
Didn't have a lot of depth, did we?
No.
Not a mass amount of depth.
No, I think we're a much better team this season. Much better.
Ange says all the fanfare and hype around Leeds never does it. The thing is, Ange, it's always going to be like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We could be in League One. Mate, we can go all the way back to League One on that final day against Bristol Rovers when we had to win. And the whole country, remember it, everybody knew that it was Leeds up against Bristol Rovers and everybody wanted us to fall apart because we'd absolutely bottled League One onwards from the Man United game. Exeter, Gillingham away, we'd lost. I remember it from then. It doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter hype and the fanfare. It doesn't matter if I go on Jim Bob's channel and say Leeds are going to win the league. It doesn't matter. That doesn't make any difference, believe it or not, because the media hysteria and everything around Leeds United is always and will always be wanting Leeds to fall apart. I've got one of my really good mates, Newcastle fan, hates Leeds, wants Leeds to fall apart again. It's every team. So it doesn't matter about the fanfare and the hype this season. It's always going to happen with a club like Leeds. So you've got to get used to it, Ange. I'm seeing this everywhere. You can't be bigging up. You can't be saying this. It's always going to be the case, mate. It's always going to be the case.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason why Leeds are on Sky literally every game.
Do you think the pressure? Do you think the same pressure is one to you, Ange? Do you think the same pressure was on Ipswich last season that it was on Leeds? No way. No way.
You see that? Did you see the Swansea-Burnley game at the weekend?
There's no one there.
Honestly, when I was watching the highlights, I thought we were back in COVID.
But you're right. There's just no one there.
I mean, but yet when we went there, it was the highest attendance of the season, and that is not to sound big-headed or that is fact.
Did you hear the Port? Did you hear? I mean, you'll have been down. Well, I mean, you were down there, weren't you? The Portsmouth crowd, and obviously they sold out, but the Portsmouth crowd, they were making an absolute racket. It was, and they've got nothing to play for. It's Leeds coming to town.
Get beat by Plymouth.
Yeah,
Like,
and the keeper makes a howler.
Yeah,
Standard.
but yeah, it's something that we've got to just
got to deal with.
We have done well. We have done well with it this year. I do think that we're on 80 points, and we've got the easiest running, if there is such thing as an easy running at this point. But yeah, I'm not panic button just yet. I think it'll have been a bit of a, and I think it was needed, bit of a wake up call for Farke and some of the players that it's not job done. And I was pleased to see Aronson get took off at half time. It showed that he was doing something about it, because it can't continue.
Shit, that's him now.
Yeah, I do. I'd be amazed if he starts the next game.
Yeah.
Unless in international duty, there's injuries and stuff like that, players come back injured or whatever, I'll be amazed if Aronson starts that next game at home.
What do you think of what? Mez bashing again, Conor?
What I will say on that though is
Dave, I think you're on the stream from last year, mate. I don't know what you're on about.
What I will say on that, on the Mez bashing, I think Cooper's been absolutely unbelievable for Sheffield United this season.
Oh, mate.
And that is a reason why they're so tightly with us, because some of the saves I've seen him make, especially in recent weeks, because I've only started watching him so closely in recent weeks, because obviously it's the running and getting close to it. But some of the saves I've seen him, he made one against Bristol City. Was it Bristol City midweek? He had no right to save it.
By the way, with this, Dave, I've got a feeling, mate, your standards are on their arse, and you don't like it when we talk about Ilan Mele, because it puts you in a bit of a negative mood about the goalkeeper, of which you know you're insecure about, and we're all insecure about, because he's an absolute bang average championship goalkeeper who's in net for potential prospective and elect champions. Maybe, you look at what Cooper was doing. You look at Cooper today. Keeps, what a brilliant save from the header. Every single cross he's catching. They can't get the ball anywhere near him, Brownie, because he comes out and he collects it. He's not punching. He's not doing any of this erratic crap. So, David, I don't know what this sort of narrative is, mate, but I'm telling you for a fact, Ilan Mele, in my opinion, is not even probably in the top 8 keepers in this division.
No, I mean, we talk about Tanaka being sign of the season, pound for pound at 3 million, and he's rightly in the conversation, but I think Cooper went for 2 point something as well. I think he's well in the conversation for...
Mate, Johansson, who's been unbelievable, went for 1 million.
Yeah.
I think we're arrogant. I think we're arrogant with him. And it comes top down. I think we're arrogant with that goalkeeper. We still think, for whatever reason, he can do it. I've no idea why. It's bizarre.
He did make a good save yesterday in the melee. No,
in the melee.
But yeah, he has cost us points this season. There's no doubt about that. And I think Cooper and Trafford, I'll throw him in there, by the way, they've single-handedly got Sheffield United points this season, which is a massive difference.
Massive. Right, mate. Well, we'll leave it there. I know we'll be back during the international break as well. This is the last stream of the weekend, so thanks so much, everybody, for joining. We will be back during the international break. I'm sure Brownie will be back as well at some stage. We'll get something organised. We're both going to go and get food and just kind of decompress from this weekend.
Don't worry, Leeds Sheffield United will still be top 2. It'll be Leeds Sheffield United. It's been Leeds Sheffield United since September.
There you go. Absolute pleasure, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in a bit. Cheers.